Oh yeah, hello friends, and welcome to the Big Sleepover Moviecast. Tonight, from 2004, an American sex comedy, a late stage movie here for the Moviecast, but a sleepover movie nonetheless. Also a late stage 90s era coming of age story, before the aughts and the aught 10s, and now the dreaded aught 20s have really kind of changed in how that goes about. That's out of the purview of this movie cast, though. We won't be going anything that late stage, but this one I think fits nicely. Directed by Jeff Schaffer, Harvard University Lampoon writer, former writer on the sitcom Seinfeld, and director of several episodes of Curb Your Enthusiasm, and has continued on with The League and now the comedy Dave, about a white rapper. So interesting career arc for him. The film is EuroTrip, starring Scott Melkowitz, Jacob Pitts, Michelle Trachtenberg, and Travis Wester. And if anything, this film is remembered for a joke song written and performed by a guest appearance from Matt Damon, who says that fans still shout out the words to the song to him. Other cameos: Lucy Lawless, Fred Armisen, JP Manu, Jeffrey Tambor, and Vinnie Jones. See previous episode, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. So I remember this film being pretty bad, but okay. I remember everyone thinking Michelle Trachtenberg was extremely hot. I remember there being some funny moments, but I remember it inspiring me and my friends group to go to Europe and do our own Euro trip. And of course, then we had to try things like absinthe, which we did before Europe, but we also did in Europe. And I will say absinthe is an interesting drink to drink. It's rough. I don't like it, but it's fun to light things on fire, and who doesn't like sugar, right? So let's re-explore this one with an open mind. Let's rock out with Lustra, aka Matt Damon, in his one little cameo. And then let's see if the movie holds up or if it's just boring as shit. I bought the Blu-ray of this. I have it scrolled back and paused. And let's do our countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. And you will see the little boy fishing in the moon, meaning that it is DreamWorks. Looking at the transfer, I'm already seeing some grain. Second logo splash here. Bad CGI for Montecito Picture Company. So this is late stage. 2004 had already seen sort of the pinnacles of the end of the 90s, probably hallmarked by something like American Pie, especially with the Lampoon kind of crossovers and various sex comedies and whatnot. We've already had Van Wilder, I believe, at this point. Stay tuned for one of those. So this is kind of really wrapping up an end of an era where they weren't afraid to do a sexploitation type comedy aimed at teen boys. But also it won't have any sort of verite that you might want in some of your coming of age stories. No one's getting pregnant. No one's dying. There'll be setups, but this is a pure comedy. It's not a dark comedy. It's not a comedy drama. And it certainly doesn't have the realism that I guess most of these 90s movies have in them. So not just hey, I kind of like the barfing animation there. But not just, darkness for darkness' sake, but just that's really kind of what life was like. There was a big, just, jadedness that was pervasive throughout the 90s, and it defined my generation, I believe, and it's still in our hearts. Which is why, this term millennial and how we group things, it doesn't, let's call it what it is. Let's call the generation, you turn 10 to 20 in. That's the one you grew up in, basically. And I definitely identify with Gen Xers, so being older than me. Now, see, that guy should have tripped and fallen. That would have been a good addition to that. Camera movement here. And I was already out of college by this time myself. Classic story of two best friends in a buddy comedy. One goofy, drug-addled, and loose, and then here the more buttoned-up one. There is Timbre, problematic actor. Uncle Moke. Well, at least she's kind of direct with him. Looks like it was hot there. She's sweating. He's sweating a little bit too. Did he even have a Letterman jacket? The disaffected parents here. What's up, Trinitron TVs? Oh, that is an interesting time. The internet was new, as you can see. Eminem's Marshall Mathers LP had come out. He's not wrong on that note, now is he? Now, as someone who doesn't watch a lot of modern media, I don't know if these two have gone on to do anything else, but maybe. They certainly don't look familiar to me. And there is Michelle. So Michelle was a kid actor on Buffy. So I didn't really watch that much Buffy TV show. I was vaguely aware of it, And see, so they're baking in the other plot of Girl is really hot, but we can't tell. I certainly don't look alike. It's a lot of food for an outdoor party. For underage drinking, I don't think we ever had food. There's some tape on his dick there. His transfer is okay. There's probably no reason to have a 4K of this, but I doubt I would buy it. We'll have to see if I warm up to this. Fairly realistic statement. There's your 90s holdover there. 2004. We weren't above saying that. And here we go. I'm glad we didn't wait too long to get to it. The best part of the film right now. And if those of you from younger generations are first watching this, this was a big move because Damon here had not had any kind of reputation. This is like Mr. Ripley coming across here. Now, I once went out on a date, I believe, with a girl who dated either the singer or someone in this band. And I remember she told me it was typical that I like this song. I don't even know how it got brought up. Peeing outside. Definitely my favorite activity. It's a moment to be by yourself, to express, to spray urine on a fence. Oh. Thank you. Some nice tits. And why are they just next door like this? Like, where are they? The Redskins doll in his room? And this is definitely LA energy here. Oh, same party, just private party, I guess. This would never work, but okay. See, this is the preposterous like behavior that goes back to something like Meatballs or Animal House. That far, far, far predates this film. Great line. Mm-mm-mm. You're in a hot tub. Why would she believe him? Mm-mm-mm. I hope this actress has gone on then to do something. You do get one erect nipple and one not. He just got tossed 2 feet away. Well, at least the film is committed to not, not thinking too hard on the plot. And again, as a stoned teenager watching this is what you want. You don't want to think. You want comedy, titties, action. There you go. Not peeing in the toilet. Hopefully just peeing in the sink, though, which is 1000% always okay. A little take on AOL. Samuel L. Jackson's AOL. Lady Woman. I wonder what it really says. I should pull up Google Translate. Now, he just happens to have this connection because he's trying to get into med school. I mean, and here homophobia is part of the plot. Ooh. These office chairs can have a heavy part there at the bottom. Do they share a room? Ouch, another. Mm-mm. Little kid. Is that little kid his face looks familiar. Is he the one who grew up to be? Stay tuned as I'm looking this up here. No, I don't think so. Different guy. I guess he became an actor, but very different guy. I thought it was coincidentally the one known as Meth Damon from Breaking Bad, and probably other things that I'm not aware of. More homophobic jokes. This movie is like the Maxim version of a 90s sex comedy. And let's think about this. He just graduated high school. He's supposed to go to college. The dialogue really is just bare minimum, which is good. He's a tiny bed. really hot. I mean, what about his last girlfriend? Although she was cheating on him, this guy doesn't have trouble having sex, apparently. So this is a different kind of comedy than American Pie. There's no yearning to lose your virginity for him. We're going to tie that into one of these other guys. Subwoofers sign on the wall there. Everybody had to have subs in your car. Had to be cool like that. Yep. But Scotty, I mean, what an overachiever. And yet he's going to end up going despite all of this. Does he have any money? Did he have a job? How did he save up? I mean, certainly he's rich. Rich middle class. Look, it takes thousands of dollars to survive this long in Europe. How they're going. Yep. Thank you for accelerating the plot. Plot borrowed from The Simpsons. Shots fired at India. Except I have not heard anything that does not corroborate the fact that India is a pretty dirty place. So good place to start out with because they speak the language you do. And obviously his German is no bueno. Little early 2000s indie Euro rock, the Jets, the Hives, etc. Or just Jet or whatever, but the Killers. Look at these great seats they have, which you would never get in modern times. I mean, the dialogue is written by a man who went to Harvard and specialized in comedy writing. Keep that in mind. Now, was any of this shot there? Because that's clearly a green screen, is it not? I guess they're there. That's a green screen. Okay, probably none of it was shot in Europe. Okay, so there's that element to it. I didn't get into the budget of this film or the success. It's been a while. I've been busy. Haven't had a chance to record one of these. I forgot the way we do it, but so he does have a job. Explains some sort of income that he can use. Okay, budget 25 million. Box office 20.8, so not great. Underwhelming. All scenes were filmed in Prague. Okay, there we go. So I've been to Praha. If this bar is really a Prague bar, it'll have a little stand of pretzels you can buy. for 10 kroner or whatever it is. I've forgotten now. There's Bullet Tooth Tony. I'm sure some people cheered. My friend from Great Britain, who we called English because we were not creative, was a Man U fan. An amazing cameo by Vinny here. These cameos must have cost you, but they are kind of making it work. Club. You'd probably call it a club, right? And now they're ingratiated. Jesus Christ. I don't think that's possible, but here we go. Gotta have a lot of fun with a sugar glass. And her film debut role. But as I was browsing Wikipedia, it didn't look like she went on to do much else. Oh, so hers is the Virgin story. Like rip Duke Nukem there. Perhaps you should experience my slick, efficient German penis. And that's his fantasy, that she's a virgin, even though he is not. That is what you always say, though. But at that youth, you can handle it. I'm trying to think, what is the archetype of the disaffected parents? Those of you who are thinking about this, parents who just don't give a damn and they're cool with everything. There's a lot of examples. The first thing that comes to mind is My So-Called Life and her very tolerant and modern parents, even though, there's drama in that show, but they're very chill with a lot of shit. Of course, Jim's dad, is a great example. Eugene Levy, a fantastic actor, who, by the way, made that movie, literally. What is a swamp donkey? I mean, aside from Shrek, which would have been out by here. Yep, you're getting closer, dumbass. The movie carries a lot on the fact that you have this duo buddy comedy to play off of. One that's understood, the outgoing kind of crazy one, the more uptight, But whatever one, both are good looking, both are handsome, both apparently managed to have sex. And let me just go ahead and say, you think you can go hitchhike across things unless you're incredibly attractive. And I'm just going to put it like that. You Gaelic garlic. Okay. I can get behind Vinny screaming. Well, now let's get the stereotypes of France. We've had the stereotypes of England, and guess what? They're all true. I might have been there. And guess what? Hey, rest of the world. Right, homophobia here. Nice. Yep. Ooh, shout out lacrosse. Lacrosse players are actually very smart. They go to Ivy League schools. Yeah, this angle about her not being considered a girl is kind of accurate and funny, but also tired. I mean, as horny as they all are, they would never. Now, this is reality. Thank you. Finally, some verite. Okay, good use of special effects. I'm sure that cost some of your fucking 25 mil, but the little interstitials kind of keep things moving. So I'll give the editing a nod. There you go. Slick, unapologetic objectification. He knows where. This guy's really not a good actor, is he? He has nice blue eyes, but this is his really like comedic range trying to show here. The French agree. I expect more cigarettes and berets and baguettes, though. When I want my horribly offensive, xenophobic stereotypes, I want them in full spade, okay? Full spate? Full spate, I believe, is the opera analogy. Due apologies, gentle listeners. Look at those jeans, though. It's before we went full skinny. It's good times. Good times to have a little bag. And those are carpenter jeans. This is the height of Abercrombie and Fitch. Or actually, maybe even a little after. Yeah, see, not a good actor, but doing an okay job is the Robot Man. I mean, there was 2 acts of assault there. The crowd likes it. Yeah, I would vomit probably. How are they affording this fancy dinner? I guess they've all worked and saved money. Very advanced for their ages at 18. Well, now you're making it about your friends, even though it wasn't at all. That is not necessary. Eating fucking lobster too? I mean, my God. Now, French food is amazing. So let's not get it wrong, but I don't necessarily think of lobster as the first thing, but French wine, French food, way better than anything European. I mean, from the UK. But I will say I prefer Italian over French because I'm a fat boy. And also really smart. Really smart. Look at that gel in his hair. Another blast from the past. Yep. Why would he be confused? There's nothing to be confused about. That's a good ADR. She was 19 during this, so still incredibly young, but I guess wanting what? The big paycheck she got. And here's the song you hear in every montage about Europe since forever, and I believe is now the theme song of the Olympics upcoming in Gay Paris. Shit alert, the hooligan. So with Jackie Collins, why are you giving her all these shout outs? Just because it's hilarious? That it is. Master of the awkward comedy here. I do like him, and of all the SNL jokes, I do think he has talent. Although I'm not a Portlandia fan, but I think he is one of the few professionals of the modern SNL era for the last 10 years, I guess, plus, since the Will Ferrell era. I mean, you can stand up for yourself. I don't think touching another man's knee has ever been considered okay. Now, was his paper pink? Or is it just the coloring of the transfer? More homophobia jokes. But what else are you going to fill in a good 5 minutes of your train ride with? Going into a tunnel. Oh, I wonder what will happen. He could have said that before. This guy's also a bad actor. No ability to show any emotion, really. All right. Well, all of their faces. Nice. Nice, Arvidsson. Real ass shot. And then we sped it up. 2.5 here or something. Back down to regular. Well, he's doing the shotgun approach, right? Someone's going to be into it. But it's not. It's somewhere in the Czech Republic. Now, how many changes of outfits have we already seen? Because you got to carry that backpack everywhere. Oh, here we go. Now, nude beaches are just notorious for old dick. Now this, I'm wondering if this is in Czech Republic or not. Look at those board shorts. Yeah, at least he volunteered to fucking hold that for them. See the beginnings of the faux hawk here. Got some asses there. Now, are those the same actors? Now, here's what we all wanted. A lot of dicks. I remember this being quite funny because it really is true. You know, this is kind of how many dudes are naked in one place. Followed by this next scene of zombieism. Yeah, see? Thanks, men. Nubile. Now, we don't see any vaginas here. It's all topless. Because I guess you can show a bunch of dicks, but you can't show bush or a vagina. And keep a what? R rating? I like it. I think more dick should be on screen at all times. Yeah, I mean, this must not be a nice beach because you can kind of see how shitty it is. It looks like a lake even. In fact, I'm pretty sure that's a lake. They're just filming it. little underboob. Yeah, I mean, there would never be any doubting her attractive level. Look at all that lip gloss too. That's also a now the only one of them with a build though is right there. He's the only one who works out. The weak bodies of the two other gentlemen back at that age when I was in shape and young, there would be teasing. I'd be like, dude, look at your hollow chest. Yep. Now it'd be funny if they all had erections, but you can't do that. Some big swangers in there, right? I saw some flop action. It's not just all, little dicks are all just total sack. There we go. As an older gentleman myself, I'm proud of my giant scrotum, but there's some good asses there too. Yeah, get it. I like the old guy catching up there. Anyway, I think penises are funny and should be included in every movie. And one of the reasons I like that recent Suicide Squad movie with King Shark or whatever, there was a penis shot. How long have you been talking and you didn't even know who she was? Why'd they let it go on so long if they knew? What's the other thing? How do how long were they sweethearts? Did he have no idea that she was cheating on him? Dilated pupils. Possibly contacts. Yeah, she really, doesn't do much in this film, but, she doesn't have to. That's not written in. She is just a pretty blonde girl. That's his fantasy, though, is virgin deflowering. Oh, and they got her naked immediately. This close into it and in a fantasy. Fuck yeah. Forgot about this inclusion. Germany's favorite pop star for quite a while, apparently. And, I am a fan of David Hasselhoff. I remember Baywatch fondly. Thought he was good. I remember Knight Rider fondly. I remember the hamburger eating incident. And, I know it got all kinds of bad shit, but dude, I've been there. I've been wasted on the floor, powering through a hamburger to save my life. And I think we can relate. I mean, whoop his ass. At a certain point, you got to maybe toughen up, man. It can't all be just whatever. But as you can see now, there will be no other character development. It will just be a series of vignettes that we get through. But the editing, again, is keeping me in it. The stereotypes, the fact that I like drinking and smoking weed, that's what we're counting on here. And this is what British tourists do and have done for the longest time, and why Amsterdam is cutting back, because they used to be the only place you could go smoke weed and I guess fuck prostitutes. But now you can go to Thailand. Now, honestly, they should just legalize weed and prostitution everywhere, and they should protect the sex workers. Let it be heard, if anybody has scanned this podcast and listened, this movie cast is a absolute fan and a believer in sex workers and sex worker regulation and protection. 100% full stop. And I am not one who's actually had sex with a sex worker. But I 10,000% agree with their right to do it and the patron's right to pay for it. But we need it safe, we need it consensual, and we need the rules well organized so that shit like this doesn't happen. Just because he's a boy does not mean that he should be suddenly subjected to physical abuse, which is not always part of sex. You know, in fact, I would say it should be a rare thing, only agreed upon by people who outline it and discuss it and keep it safe. And that's one of the points. And not to turn this into a diatribe about sex workers, but I'm glad we had, a fifth or sixth scene of titties. Okay, here we go. So this scene of the shops, this combined with Deuce Bigalow, European Gigolo, helped inform my cruise trip 2 years later too. And yes, we ate a little brownie. I preferred the chocolate chip cookies. No, that's not how you get high, brother. Were they not allowed to smoke bongs or weed? Come on. You speak English? It's what you have to say first at every place. Mm-hmm. Aw, Nikon. Yeah, his character has no development. No. That's how you get robbed. Yep. Mm. So he's the virgin? That always works. Lucy Lawless, fucking legend, and also a top gorgeous New Zealand woman. I wasn't a super fan of Hercules and Xena, but I definitely was more of a fan of Xena overall. I don't really remember anything about those series, but I know that Sorbo has now turned into a bit of a nut, so. Oh, look, he's got titty glitter on his titties. Now, if you're into kink and dominatrixes, that's cool. I don't know about those guys. That would bother me a little. At least the handcuffs are fuzzy. That's going to be a no, sir. Now, I'm trying to remember if Lucy Lawless had been in something before. Oh, there he is. She's down to keep doing it, or is she part of it? Now, of course, a man who does a Southern accent mostly. Well, that's not how that works. You would be dead if you ate all those brownies. Dead. That's why you start off just taking a hit and chilling. Damn, they serve fries there? Damn. Fisting the fries. What a great... That's a pretty good line. I know movie is just filled with anti-homosexuality sentiment, but the situation makes that funny. And his own fear of it makes him funny. And there are a lot of Jamaicans in Netherlands, can confirm. Yeah. And don't fuck around anymore. What is she doing to his dick is the question. Oh. Now we know. Made up German word, I'm betting. So the transfer is interesting. I probably saw this movie in theaters. Yes, a triple dillo. Oh, hell yeah. All right, so the gas-powered dildo thing, it's got to be a stunt ass. But the gas-powered dildo comes from somewhere else, I believe. It's like a music video or a TV show. Yeah, so how are they going to survive or get home? Yeah, well, anyway, I can't find it with a simple search, but I do recall something about a gas-powered dildo breaking through a wall. It may be from a mockumentary called Sex in America. Does that sound familiar to anyone? Yep, this is also me trying to remember my Spanish. Mm. Jesus. All right. Crude, but okay. I'm going to give the writer a couple notes here. Like, this is, if he was 18 when he wrote the script, which he obviously was not, he was probably 25-ish, 23 to 25-ish, maybe. I don't know. I did not look up when he was born, but already did Seinfeld. So he's way older. He's 30s, 40s by now. Well, you know what? Kudos to him for staying hip with like crude comedies. You know, I've seen a few episodes of Dave, and I kind of liked a few in the first season. I have not continued to watch it though, so I can't comment. But you know, a Jewish rapper, I'll always give it a chance. Got a fealty here. Ah, yes, Eastern Europe. I think the closest I got to Eastern Europe was Czechoslovakia too. All right, so that scene I remember vividly. Just bathing out on the side of the road. I've never been anywhere where I saw a human hand, but I've been in the middle of a desert and saw a horse's foot. That was unsettling too. Oh, the Russian. Another great cameo. Hell yeah. Why does he have that bike seat? I actually have the complete Miami Vice, and I have not watched much of it, and I really should. On my to-do list. I like those old TV shows. I like Bonanza. I like the one with, oh gosh, what's his name? It'll come to me. Kojak. Right. I like but there's an LA one. I guess they don't need to eat, you know. Maybe I'm just a fat schlub, but I needed to eat every fucking day. Hilarious. And not true. Although Czechoslovakia is pretty cheap. At least they did this quick, you know. It is true that titties, when I went, were like on billboards, especially in like France. People's prudish like reaction to sexual things is less in Europe. Oh, that's all it takes. Well, then they should have opened their own hotel. So we're playing up their sexual tension. The remix has hit Europe. All right, so now there's another fucking... Where'd they get the suits? I guess their money afforded it. Like, because they didn't bring that in their backpacks and pressed them like this. Now, girl fashion. Y'all talk to me for a minute. She's happy to be flirted with. You don't have huge titties, but you want to show skin, so you do a deep V. I get it. You show off your skinniness. What would be the equivalent of a man? Maybe I have, what? A small dick, but nice legs? Well, I'm going to show off my legs. I do not have nice legs. I have skinny legs and a barrel chest. My dick's okay. I would be in one of those nude scenes, flopping around, you know? Now this guy understood his assignment. Now we finally got a more progressive viewpoint here. Mm. Damn. Yeah, I mean, I recall absinthe being what I called a mean drunk. Gives you an edge, but partially just because it's strong. And wormwood is a poison, so, for whatever reason. I also remember this scene. This was disturbing. There's no joke here. Yeah, that's not okay. But I mean, damn, she was getting into it with the tongue. Right? There's your fucking fucked up moment. Damn. Ugh. I don't think that happens. I don't think you do that with your sister. There's like a smell thing. There would not be a mistake. Now, are there good twins? Twins are creepy by default. And yeah, that's like a crime against God. I don't know how you recover from that. You don't. Yeah. Now he's delighted in their pain, which is funny. And honestly, all right, I've warmed up a little bit to this because they've kept a tone and they've now developed these characters. Now all of them are shallow still. A rewrite of this could have many of the same elements, but have more human stuff. Like, do we know anything about her past? Do we know anything about his? No. Do we know anything about any of their high school like things going on or their families? No, that's all irrelevant. It's all vignettes, but I think you could have done some of this dynamics and made it more realistic. Now, speaking of European films, The Hostel came out when? 1 year after this. So The Hostel also set a tone for Europe, and there was a lot of American obsession over Europe. See, and by the way, see previous episode, The Beach, going to, not Europe, but somewhere way more intense. I like his references. Nice. Now, does he have a... Yeah, okay. We're not going to pull a fucking Confederate flag on that fuck. Another good montage. They don't even want to go in the building? I think you could go up with him, honestly. Yeah. Exactly. He invited them in. I mean, so the whole premise here about this film is that it's this wildly romantic notion that he's expecting her to love him too. Oh, and we have Hitler jokes. Wow. Another reason this film has since disappeared, right? I mean, he just told you. Now, the only acceptable version of this is Faulty Towers. If you're not aware of Faulty Towers, buy the Blu-ray. Watch Cleese in his mastery. Glad they've canceled the rest of their interests in Europe too. Again, we're moving fast again. Yeah, where's the explanation? I mean, are they even really that close of friends? Yeah, see, again, advancement, Deus Ex Machinas. There we go. Extra cheese on that. Fuck yeah, pizza. You know, Italy really has given us so much. And not Catholicism, but the food, the wine, Sofia Vergara, Italian women in general. Ooh, another. Jesus God. You know, Now, her shoes look terribly uncomfortable to be wearing on any long-term walking engagement. Well, at least he's nice about it, you know? So we've covered the basics, right? We've had homosexual jokes, but we haven't used the F word. We've used the R word. These are, again, the 90s holdovers. You can see how pervasive it was in common society. I mean, these people aren't overly concerned with such things. They're not overly thinking about this or hating on people, but let this be a representation of what common society was like. Now, has that led to all the bad things in life? I don't know. That's an interesting question. Can we do without a lot of it? Certainly. But are we, as a people, now in a dire strait because of social graces? What would you think if I said yes, but not for the reason you're thinking? Not for being offended by a offhand verbal comment without any malice really behind it, but moreover that we have no plan as a society. We have no agreement about how to act around each other. We have no agreement about what is important and what we should be doing. The rise of reality television marks the end of society. And it was said at the time, but why does he care so much? Yeah, so here's a weird character turn. Is he that religious? No water, let the motherfucker burn. Couldn't say fucker. More wackiness. Always with a positive slant, though, in this film. I mean, how coincidental that that was happening. So the Pope was dead this year. Maybe that's true. We did get a Pope at some point, and I say we like I give a shit, but you Catholics got a Pope. More likely. Now, the line for the Vatican was so absurdly long. I think it's something we bailed. It was something like 4 blocks long. So we didn't even have time to wait that long. Tourism, huh? Huh? How important is any of this old shit? You know, I'm least funny part of this film. There's the other one, the Pope who died shortly thereafter. Or, I mean, I don't really know, but I'm gonna guess the writer Schaefer, probably a Jewish man. Writer on Seinfeld, seems seems likely. Now, Schaefer on Seinfeld is known for introducing the Festivus pole. Yeah, so that's him. That's his ultimate claim to fame, perhaps. Now, Jewish humor primarily carried up and through the 90s by Mel Brooks. Yeah, by Mel Brooks. Often has a inward jab at everything. Now, there's no Jewish humor here, but we are pointing fun at other things: xenophobia, religion. Watching on remote is definitely from the live stream incident of Jim and Nadia. I got to rewatch that film. It's been a while. We'll do a rewatch of 1 and 2 of that, and 2 being a god awful film. The zeitgeist had ended, but there was something about that first movie. It was kind of the logical progression of how popular Can't Hardly Wait was. And maybe that was only for me and my friends group, but Can't Hardly Wait was a defining moment that we carried into the 1999 American Pie coming of age one big party movie. And yes, me and my friends had not lost our virginities by then. Oh. Wow. There's getting that head again in this film. Oh, and then back to the mouth immediately. And that's all right. You gonna suck my penis? Fine. We can make out. Graphic sex scene for her too. Oh. Another 90s legend, Terry O'Sherry. And a definite stay tuned for her turn in the Austin Powers franchise. Oh, can we get everybody laid in this? Ha ha ha. Okay, well, damn. My butt is leaving. I can't believe we just banged unprotected in the confession chamber. So that's all you need. I mean, wow, what a character arc. Just one nasty bang in a church that somehow they're alone for. And yeah, anyway, again, let's not question the plot. So apparently that's Prague, I guess, according to the Wikipedia. Maybe that was okay, fair. They shot this in Prague, but all those composite shots, like the composite for London, I get it. He's an M7. Oh. Now, does Arthur Fromer exist? Yes, apparently he does exist on further examination. But I don't think that actor is him. So he gets to live in Europe and work for a travel agency with his tech pants. God, look at that international airport and how unbusy it is. Now, did they bang? Not the twins. I know you can't, but him and her. Yeah, okay. Or they're about to. If not, here we go. Yeah, okay, so they already banged once. You don't bang the first time on a plane. Well, maybe you do. All those wines and elevation. Oh, the aggressive grab. And then a jump cut there. Okay, never mind. Maybe, I don't know. I can't tell. Oh, the jogging team. So stay tuned for one of my favorite films dealing with a jogging shoot. A bunch of CDs and a bunch of books. They didn't even go to the same college? Wow. So that line right there, I hope you realize is a what they assumed. Yeah, there you go. Oh, they're inseparable. But that line right there was him showing contrivance and not being not, is that the right word? Yeah, I should know better. But anyway, that's him showing restraint and not saying you're a bitch, which is what would have been said in an earlier film. So instead they just said the opposite thing, which made it about being a woman, even though that's worse. Is it not? Right? So what a terrible mistake. Oh, how fortuitous. And who is she except like being a attractive German girl? I don't think they have anything in common. And yeah. Well, I mean, that's too much. You really want to just move in with someone you don't know? That's a recipe for disaster. Dude, no matter how much sex you have, it won't sustain you. This ending, I like that thick laptop. This is, at least end it with what you know. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Well, not that part, but all right. No, Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. Tell Scotty. There you go. See, again, you can't. Out shopping under me and I'm not stopping. Oh, wow. Did she ask you to? Because that's kind of fucked up that you did what? Oh. Okay. Absolutely fabulous. Is that her? Can't not laugh at Armisen, right? Now, is this the unrated version? I'm going to have to assume it is. That's the the Blu-ray I bought, and that's the only track on it. So I don't think there's a non-unrated version. Yeah, Lucy. Just down to it. There you go. That is true. Oh, what the fuck? All right. Well, that was a weird shot. Yeah. You know, this whole interstitial stingers, that's a when did that start? I mean, Ferris Bueller is the first I think my generation would know. Probably before that, but wow, look at him, you know, and again, there's the director, right? He is a Jewish man, I confirmed. And why not, you know? Referencing Nazi culture does seem to be a thing Jewish comedians like to do. Back to Mel Brooks with The Producers, which is absolutely fantastic. But I think the average person reciting lines from that needs to be careful. Just like the average person reciting lines from Chappelle's successful comedy needs the exact same temperance. Look at him. This guy's trying to hold it together. I'm knackered. Damn. Well done. I don't know how they did that, but there we go. Amen. Bring back the dicks. Why is the monkey dressed like Mario, by the way? Okay, so movie was not quite as bad as I thought it would be, but it's still really fucking bad. I don't think I'll watch it again for another 10, 15 years or however long it's been, but that's a hell of a pop song. It's interesting. The director is actually interesting for his persistence here. I mean, let us not forget that the director of Road Trip, stay tuned, went on to direct The Joker and win the Academy Award. So, and was the guy known behind the Hangover trilogy. So, yeah, you never know what you do when you get in there and you have access to budgets, period. And we'll leave it at that. And talent, but budgets. Wow, there's a lot of extra thanks here. We'll have to go back and what am I saying? Just pause now. And if you're still with me, you're still listening to this shit, let's read these. So the producers also wish to thank someone. Okay, Black Bull Comics. I have no idea. Alec, his parents, for allowing him to watch a lot of TV as a child. Also his beautiful wife and child. Okay. Coming all the way to Prague to stay for the duration and the courage. It was a terrible idea and to get the hell out. Okay. David would like to thank his parents, despite the fact they still want him to go to medical school. Also, thanks to everyone who came and visited in Prague. The roommates, the comic art guys, the girlfriend, lampoon folk. Okay. It was a crazy long flight, but the visits really helped. Everyone who didn't visit can go to hell. You know who you are. And to Al, Billy, and Jim, who taught me how to write, blame them. Oh, Al, Billy, and Jim, eh? Okay. So now we have a few clues hidden in this film here that are enriching it. So I hope you're with me here that this is not something I would have paid attention to, and I've never owned this film until now. So it's good to know. So Alec, who the fuck is Alec? Okay, Alec Bird and David Mandel And then Jeff also wrote it. So those are the writers. So now we're talking about Jeff. Jeff would like to thank his parents for buying all the Cleveland Indians merchandise. Oh, right. Cleveland Indians. That's what it was. And insisting that he thank them in writing. And Alex for all the great music and everything else. Okay. Cool. So Alex must be the music director on this. No. Okay. I don't know who that is. He would also like to thank Ted Griffin for watching over his house while he was in Prague and to not crap in it daily. Okay. Ha ha ha. The guys, whoever that is, would like to thank every single person who worked on the film for helping us make the movie. Also, a bunch of things. Okay, cool. Writers Guild, Directors Guild for being there for us. Oh, dude, don't fucking suck the dick of the hand that feeds. All right, y'all. That's it. Now, is there going to be a final stinger? And if you didn't pause and read that shit with me, you're probably better off. It was mostly stupid. But understanding who Alec and Dave are was interesting as the extra writers. They all work together on Seinfeld. Why do I want to say Field? Seinfeld and Curb. I thought so. Yeah, one more booby. Well, again, not the worst thing you could see once every 10 years, but definitely not the best. And with that, take care. Bye-bye.